Hello viewers, I'm Jimmy Njoroge and thank you very much indeed for tuning in to Pillar TV, the station that is undisputably shaping your destiny. This is time for Spotlight. Remember, Spotlight is a show that puts your leaders on the spot. Different personalities, we focus on leaders on different sectors of the economy. And today on the show, we are privileged to have one phenomenal son of Kirinyaga County. He goes by the name J S Mathenge. And remember, he has served in different capacities in both administration and in the public service. And he's a former long-serving permanent secretary in the office of the president and also ministries of water and ministry of agriculture. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, and it's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Yes, many people know you as JS. Could you start by telling us who JS is in a nutshell?
Thank you very much. My full name is James Mathenge.
Yes.
And J is a short part of it. I mainly know that in the church and also my close friends.
Yes.
And I was baptized in the Anglican church to be given the word James.
Yeah.
I tried to get to be baptized Mathenge.
Yeah.
At that time I was told Mathenge was not in the Bible. So I stick to James. Yeah.
Right. You start by taking us back a bit on the history of Kirinyaga County. Where did we begin as Kirinyaga?
Kirinyaga County, I have done quite a bit of interviews in the locally.
Yeah.
And at present I have the opinion that this county was colonized last and also was settled last.
Yeah.
I have interviewed quite a lot of people, and I find in the geology, none is able to go to more than 5-6 generations. And I can quote specific names who are not able to do that.
Yeah.
They either came from Meru, Kitui, Kinyeri, or Mbere.
Yeah.
A majority of them coming from mainly Meru, Mbere, and Kitui seem to be the majority. Majority really is something between 80 and 90%. Others come from other areas. And most of the counties in Kenya are covered because we have identified people's origin, Kilifi, Taita, Nyanza, even Turkana, even the Borana, Somalis, so even Indians. We have we have really a rich culture. And here I would rather say that that's a judicious mixture of the people of Kenya. That's why Kirinyaga cannot be tribalistic. We are national.
Could we say there are indigenous people who belonged to Kirinyaga County?
I have said 100%. We have current settlement is those people are mentioned. But the mythology, there is, and there is evidence about it.
Yes.
Before then, the area was occupied by Gumba. We suspect Gumba are the present pygmies of Congo.
Yes.
The evidence exists because we had some paths in the forest which seem to have been used for cattle and all that, and they are still existing. Even in my home in Kirinyaga, there is such mark of the original settlers of Meru. A lot of study has not been done, movement of people in Africa. Our history, even we say we just gather fragments of our history. But those are the earliest people we can hear, the Gumba, who are now in Congo.
There's a rumor that the original inhabitants of Kirinyaga were driven away by a massacre that happened, and they were replaced with now the people we're having in Kirinyaga. Are you aware of that massacre?
I am aware of a massacre, which I'm aware, which was really last century. I think it was 1902, 1903, when Kirinyaga was now being colonized. The white men had come as far as the river, and up to that time. The Muranga Fort Hall was under the colonial rule. But ourselves, we are not. With the Embu, we are not come into the colonial rule. A captain, police captain called Mathenge was sent to send an expedition to come and subdue us so that we can accept the colonial rule. When he passed through Kagio to Kutus, at Kutus he learned that the people had moved towards the mountain because the mountain provided a good refuge for that time for war. And he caught up with them between Gatungoro and Kabare. And his men, who were mostly Maasai, he had already drawn an agreement with the Maasai that if they capture cattle or sheep, they will divide equally. They were therefore equal partners in this game. Many people were killed. That's the Kirinyaga residents. The Mathenge, who was, of course, as a commander, was behind. When he got there, he found that people had been killed, including women. And he was very, very unhappy. He ordered his soldiers, who are suspended just a few people with guns. They killed all the Maasai and retreated, cheating the Nairobi that the Kirinyaga people had killed his people. And he said sent reimbursements, and he was given reimbursements. It is that the only massacre I can recall.
At this time,
the Robos were not massacred. I think they just found that these people coming were very huge. Huge people coming, walking, and they kept on moving. The evidence of their moving is on there where they are is called Turi. And we find there is a place in Meru called Turi. There is a Turi in Embu. There is Turi in Kirinyaga. There is Turi in Muranga, even Kiambu. The way they were retreating. Okay? The one Turi seems to be a pygmy name. Thank you.
Take us through your experience during the colonial era and probably your contribution in the whole liberation process.
Thank you. When the Mau Mau uprising started, really, the first incident was, of course, the killing of senior chief Warohio in Kiambu in 1952. Detention of Kenyatta, 20th of October, 1952, and from there, that was when the trouble started. Here, it reached the following year, 53. 53, there was a lot of activity in Kirinyaga, oathing and all that, mobilizing people for war. That was at school at that time. I was at the Kangaroo. In fact, 1952, I was in standard 7. 53, I was standard 8. At that time, it was called Form 1 and Form 2. When we went home for a holiday, we found the mobilization was at its height. As we ourselves as students were used as guards, we were sentries to guard where the meetings were being held. In case we saw anybody approaching, we informed them. And we did. And I remember one incident when I was in guarding, where a regional meeting was held by fighters from Embu, Nyeri, and Kirinyaga. I was given an area to guard. I had people approaching. I was full of fear because I was between a rock and a stone. If it was the Mau Mau and I don't do something, they will say that the area was not guarded. I'll be in trouble. If it was government forces, I would be, possibly, I would have a gunshot immediately. So I was very afraid. But luckily, as they approached, I picked the voice of one of the Mau Mau whom I knew. And therefore, I was now very brave. Holding my panga, I challenged them. I challenged using the code ones which we had to define who they were. And they replied quickly. They were very impressed. They thought I was very brave. When they met...
That time you were alone?
I was alone. Yeah, but we are scattered in every direction.
Yes.
When they went there, he reported about a very brave person, very fit for the war.
Yes.
And I was actually called to be introduced to the meeting. Yeah, I recognize still people like General China
Yes.
were in that meeting. So we also sent for sentries. Our other work is to go and buy them essentials.
Yeah.
And occasionally to pick guns from government police stations. Okay, and Kergui, I remember one of them. I did carry some bullets to the Mau Mau. And on the way, I met the home guards. And I said, where are you coming from?
Yes.
Have you seen Mau Mau? I told them, I have not seen Mau Mau. They allowed me to go without inspection.
Yeah.
Okay? They did not know what I was carrying. Yeah.
How did you now transition from that point to now joining the government, maybe in your service during the pre-colonial period?
Yeah, from there, of course, just to complete, from Kangaroo, I went to Avanza School,
Yes.
completed my Form 4 examination, then to Makerere University, where I graduated with a BA degree.
Yeah.
And from there, we are recruited into the government service
Yes.
as in district officers. I think the first lot to be recruited direct as district officers. All of who are recruited before us were recruited as district assistants.
So JS, you are experienced in the pre-colonial era, and now you've joined Kenyatta.
Yeah.
How was the experience in the Kenyatta government, and how did that help you, or how did you transition from that to Moi era, and how was the comparison between the two administrations?
Let me just start a little earlier, the colonial government.
Yes.
We came and were pushed into the government
Yes.
with very little training, little preparation.
Yeah.
You just find yourself at the deep end of the swimming pool doing that. You are supposed to inspect a governor. You don't know how to inspect a governor.
Yes, yes.
You are given a vote to manage. You don't know what an impress is. But then you had to learn all these things sometimes from your juniors in that time. It was not that easy. The colonialists, of course, were preparing to go.
Right.
Therefore, they were not always very cooperative also in training. But the person I found in Kwale was very good.
Yeah.
He inducted me through the system quite well. The person I went to the division also was very good. In fact, he even handed over very properly.
Yes.
He even gave me a very big bowl full of tablets against malaria, which as a part of the handing over notes.
Oh, really?
And I took that malaria for a little time, then I stopped it because I thought this is a Muzungu affair.
Yeah.
Africans cannot be bitten by mosquitoes here.
Yes.
And of course, I got a terrible bout of malaria in Kwale before I recovered. Then from there, I came back to central government.
Yeah.
And the training at the KIA. And this is a new dispensation and new things. The methods of doing things were very different.
Yes.
Kenyatta at that time had taken over. He decided to retain the system as it is without a lot of changes.
Yes.
That is a provincial administration that it was. Provincial administration during colonial was for keeping law and order mainly.
Yeah.
And also collecting money, taxes, and all that. When Kenyatta came, it remained with those laws and also got an extra law on development.
Yes.
There were the coordinators at the district level of the development committees, of all the other committees, all the other ministerial committees. They were the thing. And Moi's Kenyatta administration was a little different from Moi.
Yes.
It's delegated to the ministers completely. When we came to Moi, Moi was a hands-on person.
Okay.
A hands-on person that he took charge of all the ministries. He knew in detail what in detail. In fact, I used to assert at any time Moi knew the ministry more than the permanent secretary and the minister put together.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay? Because he had a photographic memory when he came to briefing.
Yes.
He got the issues very, very, very well.
Yes.
That was the idea. Kenyatta did concentrate on development issues.
Yeah.
The country was developing very, very fast, you know,
All right.
until 67.
Okay.
That's when we started wobbling.
Right,
a
very
bit.
rich history
Yeah.
right there. And also you headed you are chairman of the Freedom from Hunger Council.
Yeah.
And shortly we're going to address that when we come back from a commercial break. Remember, you are watching The Spotlight, the show that puts your leaders on the spot. I am your host, Jimmy. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Pila TV kurongereria muturire.
Welcome back to The Spotlight. Remember, today we are having JS Mathenge, and he has a vast experience and a rich history to share with us. Welcome back, Bwana JS.
Thank you, Jim.
Could you briefly talk to us about the devolution? Do you think Kenya was ripe for devolution?
That one I will answer with a single word.
Yeah.
Yes. Kenya was very ripe for devolution.
Yes.
And devolution is you are actually giving people authority, not authority to do things themselves. You are also giving resources to do things for themselves.
Sure.
And when people identify with a project directly, they do better.
Yes.
Much better. So devolution was timely.
Yes.
It has come. The manner in which it came raises quite a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Too much of a good thing.
Yes.
47 counties, instead of a fewer like 14 to 20, you can see how much resources we are using to pay salaries,
Yes.
to maintain structures,
Yes.
to maintain the problem. That is a question mark. It's a good thing, but if it were a few,
Yes.
possibly there will be more resources to do development
Yes.
instead of using the more recurrent expenditure.
All right.
I'm still not convinced about that as a country,
Yes.
that we have really done the good thing.
Okay.
The thing to do is not to cry over that.
Yes.
Is to, when you are walking, is always able, you must always pause and look, assess how much safari you have done. Am I on the right direction?
Yeah.
So looking at what you are doing, reviewing regularly, is a strength,
Yes.
not a weakness. I would like the government in the future to look at it, because any program has a time to review.
Sure.
And reviewing right now, I will give them very high marks on what they are able to do at the local level.
Yeah.
We can see the roads, for example, the improvement of small roads, feeder roads, because they are able to do that. But bigger roads, we have to look at it again.
Yes. Let's now narrow down to the county of Kirinyaga. And you are a key person in the preparation of the Kirinyaga County Strategic Plan, which is a document that was supposed to guide the route path to develop the county. In your own assessment, do you think the county government, the current administration, has been able to realize some of these goals which were in that document?
I think what I can say that the Kenya Development Forum, which is a Kirinyaga professionals creation,
Yes.
but they created a forum so that when they were asking how can we help, not being even in the government as citizens, how can we help?
Yeah.
And we registered a forum to be able to assist, to complement, not to duplicate
Yes.
what the county is doing. This was done before the elections. Then none of current members were part of it,
Yeah.
of the government in Kirinyaga. And we produced a strategic plan.
Yeah.
The professionals made proposals. They discussed with the grassroots. And they thought this was a document which could be given to the new government,
Yes.
so that the new government does not start from zero. They start from a point of advantage. They are thoughts. So when they were given instrument of power, we professionals were endorsed to give them also an instrument,
Yes.
which was a draft strategic plan.
Yes.
And that was meant to assist them to take off quickly without waiting. That they have that in draft. They have told us that they have borrowed quite a lot in making their development plan.
Yes. But in your own assessment, do you
plan.
think some of these goals have been realized?
I think to me what I can say
Yeah.
is that the counties, all of them without exception,
Yeah.
they started with quite a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
Number one, they are starting from zero.
Yes.
They have nobody to refer to, no document to refer to. They have to create a few. So, and I accept that. Now, the other thing is resources. Most of the resources went to recurrent.
Yes.
The government also gave the council quite a lot of officers whom they had, and they had no authority to sack any of them.
Yes.
And given that, I've seen signs of picking priorities.
Yes.
Picking priorities, like picking a sewer, that is a very important project for Kirinyaga.
Yes.
Because when you pick a sewer, you are saying, I want to industrialize. I want my university to grow. I want the population which is already born, and which is going to double the population of Kirinyaga from 600 to 1.2 million.
Yes.
I want to give them a place to stay. That means give them a job and a house and a pension. That can be done only when you industrialize.
Yes.
I have seen that if that comes through, even health of the area, particularly people of Moya, is sorted out. Because the sewer will solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of signs
Yes.
of action. But the time possibly has not been right for bigger projects
Yes.
to take off.
Okay.
I have seen the Japanese taking a lot of interest
Yeah.
in the county,
Yeah.
visiting the county, and also saying that they are prepared to look at that project.
Yes.
And this project is already in the drawing board.
Okay. Let's address the issue of the county headquarters, which is an issue which has raised a lot of interest within the residents.
Yeah.
And a group of professionals earlier on, before devolution, met to do elections on where the county should be based. And recently we've seen a court ruling giving a different verdict that the headquarters should be at Kerugoya against a project that has been constructed, costing a lot of money.
Yeah.
That is 380 million taxpayers at Kutus. What is the way forward on this, Bona JS?
I think in brief, the way I would say that is, personally, I see always Kirinyaga, particularly the headquarters,
Yes.
Kerugoya and Kutus, I see them as one city,
Yes.
not two cities. Cities which are just 6 miles apart. It is one city alone.
Yeah.
Whether the project is there or there really makes very little difference. But one thing I can confirm,
Yeah.
I was a witness that the professionals discussed that project.
Yes.
And the professionals means all disciplines of professions represented. They discussed it, and they the Kutus had land which Kerugoya did not have.
Yes.
They found Kerugoya was headquarters of central government, and the county government wanted also to. You cannot two governments in your same floor.
Sure.
Because some people are saying they can share that building. But it was already full of government. The secondly, when you got to every parameter, communication, water, anything you mention, it Kutus had an advantage, plus land. So the professionals unanimously said Kutus is a very good place. And to make it short, they said, but the owners of this place is not ourselves, professionals. They are people who are younger than ourselves. Let's listen to the youth. And the youth from all professions, border, everybody, accountant, lawyer, a church, all of them came together.
Having said that...
And they said Kutus. So what I can say is people's participation was complete, and towards the end, the politician. It was through to the politician to make a decision. The result of the politician was they voted. 80% voted Kutus, 20% voted Kerugoya. Either or democracy. With that, it is very obvious that the Kutus had a more favorable, because of location, was more suitable than Kerugoya. Not that Kerugoya was not all right.
Could we now attribute this to the political contestation between the political rivalry that is between
I think without contradiction, I can say yes, it is politics, politics. Because we did it, and the figures are there, and the reports are there. And the people who made the decision are politicians, not the professionals, not the youth. If the politician who made the decision, it should be Kutus. They should really live to their word.
Speaking of politics, the president has, in the recent past, attributed the delayment of the delay in the projects in the county to political undertones and wrangling between amongst the leaders, and this has hindered key projects from being implemented. What is your take on this?
Let me tell you what I always look at. Politics is here to stay. Politics is with us. And it's not a good game. There was a time when I thought, well, that the game, it's not a that game. But if you put in that people in it, then that is your problem, not the politician's problem. It is you, the elector, who does that. I think what I would like to see for Kenya, and also for Kirinyaga, is a situation where you have institutions which do development, and leave them to go on with the development. The politician can have their mwereka in the way they want, as long as when they are having mwereka, development is taking place. The classic example in the world is Italy. Italy has had very unstable governments. Since the war, they have changed the governments an average of once a year. That's very unstable. But then development institutions are going on developing Italy. That's what I would like to Kirinyaga too. The development organs, once they will be left to do the development. But Moi, I think it's Moi who said, bad politics, you get the results of bad politics.
We are in a period of political campaigns right now. What is the way forward, Bwana JS, for most of the youths who are coming up to seek different elective posts? And they are fearing because they don't have the cash, because it is now handouts versus the policies. Have we come of age as a country to sell policies and be elected in these political offices?
That's not an easy question for me to answer, but let me give you what I think. The politics has been polluted. Okay? I want you to guess who has polluted politics. Without money, it's very difficult to get into politics. There is a lot of legitimate money for politicians to do the campaign. You have to fuel your vehicle. People who are campaigning for you must have food. But there is another part of it, of handouts to people so that they can vote.
Yes.
That is corruption. When a politician lines up people to give them 5 shillings each, that is corruption in order to change.
Yeah.
And when candidate B lands, they were given 5, he goes, lines up, give them 10, 10, 10. That's what makes the exercise very expensive.
Yes.
It's because of what we have done. The people now are asking for it because you taught them that they can have it.
Yes.
They are now on your neck. They are asking for it.
Yeah.
How do you do that? It is re-education. You can do that, and because of pollution is already there, you can redo that.
Yeah.
And the best time to do, the best way to do people who have caused change is not to go down to schools and start building ethics,
Yes.
strong ethics there.
Yes.
People who have got a chance also to do that, and this is where my church comes in.
Yeah.
The church has got a very great responsibility.
Yes, we're going to address that in a few minutes,
Thank you.
Yes, because we have to go on a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the role of church in governance,
Yes.
and also the education curriculum. And I also hear that you're writing a book. There's a
Yes.
book you're about to release.
Yes.
We are going to talk about
I will-
that
I
when
will-
we come back.
I will accept.
Thank you very much for tuning in to Pillar TV. Remember, this is the Spotlight, and we are with JS Mathenge. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Pillar TV, shaping your destiny.
Welcome back to the Spotlight. I'm your host, Jimmy Njoroge, and remember today we are hosting JS Mathenge. Welcome back to the show, Bwana
Thank you,
JS.
Jimmy.
Kindly take us through your role in heading the board of Kirinyaga Technical Institute. That is now the Kirinyaga University College.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Kirinyaga Technical Institute was started as just a technical school
Yes.
when the leaders realized that technical education in the future is going to be very, very important
Yes.
if this country develops and continues to develop
Yes.
to become as a development country grade 1. When it was started, it's just few people came together in Nairobi. When they met in Mr. Kareidi's house, and I can mention them,
Yeah.
there was Professor Mugera, John Kereri, Maklas was there, Gatongo, Giga Machere, myself,
Yeah.
Josephat Mutugi, and one or two others. We agreed this was something which we can do, and we brought it to the Kirinyaga Parliament, which was the leaders' conference. Leaders from everywhere. They came and endorsed it,
Yes.
and Kirinyaga started from there. People willingly accepted to give money. The tea people, the milk people, the coffee people, the tea,
Yeah.
everybody. Even the children, nobody, everybody, 100% took part,
Yes.
including school children. There's some were paying 1 shilling, secondary school 2 or 5 shillings. So it was a very coordinated effort, and it was something which at its time had come, and it was born. The person who wrote forward to raise money was Kibaki when he was Minister for Finance.
Okay.
In that he said, one day, this will be a university.
Yes.
And I was very happy to see it grow to become a university.
Yeah.
Right now, it has got a charter,
Yes.
and it has got a chancellor, a very able Kenyan,
Yes.
friend Onjiambo from Busia,
Yes.
very able chancellor.
Yeah.
That to me, it was joy to see it grow that much.
Yes. You also contributed in the development of church. What roles did you take in
Yeah,
church?
thank you very much. In the
Anglican
church also, I've been very active in the church too,
Yes.
serving in several committees in the church.
Yeah.
the development committees like Kirinyaga.
Yes.
We had Kirinyaga Multi-East company,
Yes.
which was called CCS, Christian Community Services. Now it's called ADS, Anglican Development Services.
Yes.
This took the development all the way from Moyale to Kirinyaga here, including, that encompasses the districts of Embu, Mbeere, Meru, Isiolo, Marsabit, Moyale, and Kirinyaga. We are one. We have retained that. I chaired it for many, many years, that thing, and it was doing development. The wisdom of the bishops at that time was, let them be on the pulpit preaching, but they must have a lay ministry where they push things like development. It is still working very well. It is a model for Kenya. And many people are coming to see exactly how it works. And we do development projects in agriculture, in health, or across the board, water. That is where we are. Now, at present, I'm chairman, still chairman of the development, the policy-making arm of the church.
Okay. Speaking of, all right, sorry.
The vice chairman of the synod, and that is the highest, and also development committees. I'm there at the diocesan level. That's Kirinyaga level, and also at the national level.
Yes.
At national level, I'm the chairman of the institutions committee, and also of the in the CCK, which is Church Commissioners of Kenya. Okay. They manage all the property for church in Kenya. Okay. All of them.
Now, speaking of church, Bwana JS, do you think the church has taken an active role in transformational leadership and governance? Entirely the governance of the country?
I can, that one I can say yes. Because when you look at the scenario, when the colonialism started here, the same DOs and DCs here to govern us, but the church came with it education, with it medicine. Even part of the modern farming and crops came through from the church. That church has continued to do that. In our landscape today, look at the church at school, in education. Okay? Education, they are playing a significant part in education. In Kirinyaga, look at most of the schools are church-sponsored. That means they were started by the church. The government came later and offered to give teachers. So the church, in that way, it has done quite a lot of work, and give them A for that part of it. When in the present dispensation, the change which came to Kenya, constitutional changes, the church started it. There was a time when the church was the voice of the voiceless. The church itself.
Is that the same today? Is
that is, I think when the change came, the constitutional change, the church might have thought they have finished their work. I am here to tell them they haven't. The work has just started. The work does not end. No, because when you solve one issue, another one crops up. You solve another one crops up. A hot one today is, for example, that was corruption, which is an issue, which is an emerging issue, very serious. We cannot allow corruption to continue the same way and develop. Corruption, the name is, it is a block, roadblock to development.
What role does the church has?
The church has a lot of party to play, because you must know where corruption comes from. Breakdown of fabric, integrity of people, honesty, and all that. That is the area where the church can do a great deal. Influence the curricula, because they sponsor a lot of schools. Influence the curricula, so that in the schools they are taught how to become a good Kenyan, how to become a useful Kenyan, how to become a good member of society. I am a scout, first of all, I did not tell you, first before everything else. I'm a scout. And one of the policies of scout is to leave the country better than you found it. Leave a place better than you found it. So if you find places good, make it better. If you find it better, make it excellent.
Right.
So always there is a job to be done,
Yes.
and the church is in the forefront.
With the incoming of the newly appointed head of or chairman of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission,
Yeah.
Eliud Wabukala, given he's a man of cloth and he has been in service of church, do you think as a country this is now, there's some light at the end of the tunnel in the fight against corruption?
That is great. It's an opportunity,
Yeah.
a very great opportunity
Yes.
for somebody who will come and not just take all the energy in putting fire, putting out the fire,
Yes.
but also spare a lot of energy to know the cause of the fire. The best thing is to cause so once you know the cause,
Yeah.
you are able to save another house from burning.
Sure.
I think this is the thing. To me, it's to wish him luck, congratulate him,
Yeah.
Wabukala, very much for getting this job, but also to wish him luck.
Yes.
I will tell him to start every meeting with a prayer, because there's an authority bigger than the authorities here.
Sure.
There is authority who is not corrupt at all, who has told us corruption is evil.
Right.
To restart every meeting with a prayer. I have worked with Wabukala.
Yeah.
I know he has what it takes
Yes.
to do that.
All right.
And to fight corruption, the first thing is integrity. Okay? You cannot fight corrupt if you are corrupt.
Yeah.
No. Integrity is a weapon
Sure.
to fight corruption in this country. And our children must be stopped, must grow upright.
From the word go?
Mumea
From elementary studies?
unavyoulea ndio inakuwa. Okay, mtoto unamlea ndivyo
Ndivyo akuavyo.
anakuavyo.
Naam.
So we must stop that. Our next generation
Yes.
must not be corrupt.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's now jump to the issue of drought, which has devastated most
Yeah.
parts of the country right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And you once served in in a council that deals with
Yeah.
the freedom for hunger.
Yes.
Now, from your own perspective, do you think the country is ready or is able to tackle the current drought situation?
The current drought situation should not come as a surprise to anybody in Kenya,
Yeah.
because climate change warnings have been very, very clear.
Yes.
We have warned again and again, things are not going to be the same in the past,
Yeah.
in the future. The weapon is to use water. I'm talking now sitting in Kirinyaga.
Yes.
Kirinyaga is one district. I want to be challenged. It has more water than any other county in Kenya. And
Are we in a position to utilize that water?
I'm telling you, you have got a lot of it.
Yeah.
Okay? But you are not utilizing it. In any case, you are sometimes misusing it.
Right.
When you try to irrigate using furrows, you are just wasting water. It is a question of putting dams, many dams in our rivers.
Right. Bwana JS, I'm gonna invite you on that topic specifically because we need. My director is telling me that we need to wind up, but we can't wind up this interview. Sorry to cut you short.
Yes.
Before we talk about shortly and briefly about your family.
Yes.
The listener, the viewer would want to know, who is JS? Does he have a family, your wife, and how did you meet with your wife?
Oh, JS as a family.
Yeah.
I've got a wife called Faith.
Yes.
We have lived together, and we have already celebrated the 50 years of marriage.
Yes.
Now we are going to the 53
Yes.
years of marriage. And we have got 5 children and 3 grandchildren, beautiful grandchildren.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
One
are
of the
writing a book?
grandchildren is already working.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a book you're coming up.
I'm coming with a book, by
Yes,
the way.
yes.
What these things are saying, some of them, I highlight them in a book which is going to be published today.
Yes.
In the final stages of getting the manuscript together. I'm reading the manuscript.
Yes.
I'll capture some of these things quite well.
Right.
The particular things, historical things concerning our county, which are not well recorded.
Right.
Yes.
When are we expecting to see the book?
I will not give you a timeline.
Yes.
Because it depends on how quickly I can accept the manuscript.
Right.
You know, writing is difficult because you go on changing.
Sure.
You write and you change and change and change.
Sure.
I'm giving myself target of this year.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds, JS, that you speak to that voter, that participant in any in the process of election, looking at that camera. Talk to that voter as we approach the election year.
Let me talk to the voters, not only in Kirinyaga, in the whole country. There are several ways of ruling a country. It is democratic by voting our leaders. The other one, which we don't want to hear, is the rule of the gun. A military person holding a gun telling you, you follow me and you sing the song I am doing. We chose democracy, and it is by vote. Everybody should get a voting card and use it wisely to choose a leader. And I warn you, those people who don't want to vote, even when you don't vote, you stay in your house, you have voted. And you have voted for the person you will not have liked to lead you or to conduct your affairs. So I'm asking for the first stage is to have a card. Then you have a say. After getting your card, sell it to nobody. Hand it to nobody. You may be given gifts for people to go and vote. If you are given a gift, you are being bribed to go and vote of somebody you don't want. Still go and vote for the candidate of your choice.
Well put, Bwana JS. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having your time and for coming on the show.
Thank you.
That was JS Mathenge, and he has given us a vast experience and a very rich history about his past and his service in this country. Remember, this is the Spotlight, and we come to you every week bringing you the different personalities and different leaders of the economy. Join us again next week. We are glad to have had you as our viewers, and until next week, it is a goodbye, good luck, and God bless. My name is Jimmy Njoroge.